Hi, everybody. Happy Friday. I am in pink. It is springing here in New York. For those who celebrate, happy Passover, happy Easter, all those things that are happening at this time of year. Really quick intro for those who are maybe tuning in for the first time. My name's Rebecca. I'm the founder of Rebecca Babcock Coaching and the Babcock Method. Really quick, here's what I do and here's why it's different. I actually am launching a new video that's going to go into this that you'll be able to see soon. But basically, I had all the things in life. I graduated from college. I got a good job. I got married. I had checked all the boxes, and the boxes started to fall apart. And by the time I was 35, my career in magazine publishing had ended. My marriage was over. I have a chronic illness. I had an emergency surgery to remove my entire colon. Things were really they weren't on track the way I wanted them to be. And I went out looking for a coach that could help me. I thought if I got a new job that it would make everything else better and easier. And then I realized, well, maybe it's not just the job. And at the time I was working with different coaches in different areas of my life about different things, call them coach, call them a trainer, call them a therapist, but it was all these different people. And I really wanted somebody that could look at my life and my career in one sitting. Finances, related, all parts of being an empowered human being. And I couldn't find them, so I created the Babcock Method. So that is what I do. And I've started this series that I hope I'll do for a long time to come, which is that the way I work is very different. There's 3 ways I differentiate myself as a coach. Number 1 is that my programs are customized. Number 2, they're holistic. So in addition to me, there's 9 other coaches on my team that clients can work with if they want to, everything from fixing your resume to how to meditate to breath work to help them, everything in between. And then I actually offer a guarantee, which we can talk about another time. But those 3 things are very different than what's out there. And so when I say that to people, they're like, what are you talking? What? That's crazy. And I always say, don't take it from me. Talk to my clients that have had great experiences or had their own journeys. So without further ado, well, I'll give her a little intro. Christine is a client of mine. She's not a client anymore. And that's an important thing. Send them on their way. And she came to me because she got a promotion at work. And she thought she needed it for one thing. And then we went on this journey together, a really beautiful one, including a trip to Mexico together. And she has taken her life in a different direction. But it required really betting on herself and being able to look at some no's and turn them into, okay, what's the learning lesson here and what am I doing instead? So without further ado, Christine Zapata, here you are. Sorry, I just pronounced that really weirdly. So I'll be quiet. Why don't you tell us a little bit about who you are and what you're doing here and what you want to talk about?
Thank you, my favorite coach. So I'm Christine Zapata, and I am in human resources. I've been a human resources practitioner, and I had to count this up today, Rebecca, 30 years.
Wow. Which is weird because you're only 30. So I don't know how that
Right. I started when I was 12. So,
yeah.
But, no, I've been, as we've talked about, been there, done that, and learned so much and grew so much as an HR practitioner. Finally learned patience through this career. And as Rebecca said, I was hired to be a senior VP of HR in the C-suite for a small manufacturing company. And I reached out to her and I need to know how to be executive. I need to know I'm saying the right thing. And she was like, that's not what I do. So,
and I said to her, you don't need to learn how to be an executive. You got promoted because you have what it takes. Just keep doing you. But yes, right. we went on a journey, but yes, please go on. Please go on.
I took a leap of faith and started coaching with Rebecca based on her philosophy. It's more life encompassing. So I thought, might as well work on work and my personal life at the same time. So, right. And then worked for this company for about a year, and they brought in a new CEO, and I found myself 6 weeks later, on the unemployment line. And I did something that I had been thinking about for about 10 years and just never had the nerve to do, which is start my own firm. And so December, I started my own firm, jumped into it, got all the business structure done, and just said, look, I'm going to do this. I had some savings set aside to give me that financial security that we all worry about.
Yep.
Whether you're working full time or doing your own thing. So I felt comfortable. And so I started it. And I remember Rebecca talking to you going, what do I do? How do I get clients? What am I supposed to do? And it was daunting because I had no clue.
And that's a great thing just to say quickly, which is like, it's one thing to have the courage. And a lot of you have heard my story, but you know, I had a whole career in corporate America and I always wanted to be a coach, but I didn't know what that looked like. I didn't know how to do it. And it was in being let go from a job that I said like, okay, it's game time. It's time to do it. But that didn't mean I knew how to do it. So there's two parts of it, right? There's like the courage and the confidence to say, I don't need that steady paycheck. I'm ready to go step out on my own. But then there's the actual logistics of doing it. And personally, I think they need to go hand in hand. So before we get into the logistics of how you did it and all of that, there was sort of an inflection point that you said, I don't want to do this anymore. And I'm curious for you, the difference between leveling up in a corporate role versus stepping into your own power as a business owner. Like how'd you do it? How'd you get there? Obviously, I'm going to take a little credit, but no, seriously, what was it for you? What was it for you that made you realize I don't need the security of a corporate job or someone calling me by a certain title to feel like I'm good enough to do this?
Right. The journey I had of finding value in myself and love in myself actually started before I started the new job.
Mm-hmm.
I was unemployed for a month. CEO found me, recruited me. He was wonderful. I loved working for him. And I was like, oh, I've made it. This is great. But I made a decision in 22 to change how I see things and to become positive and live every day like today's the only day we have. So make it your best. If you get up tomorrow above the dirt, you're great.
You're winning.
You're winning. So, and then, I started working, but when new leadership came in, there was no value seen in what I did. And it was very degrading. And because of my choice to be positive, it really was a disconnect. And I'm like, I'm not doing this. I'm not going to put my livelihood financially and emotionally in the hands of somebody else.
Yep.
Who doesn't respect what I do. And I was like, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm going to be the best boss ever of me.
Yes.
And it allows me to keep that positive outlook when I work with my clients or I work with my vendors or the people that help me out. So it really was that frustration of why is my livelihood in somebody else's hands?
Yeah. Yeah. And knowing what I know about you, you took a lot of things into your hands at that same time. Your health and your wellness and exercising and Pilates became such a huge thing for you. Yes. Your relationship with your body, your relationship with yourself, your relationship with other people. And I think a lot of people would want to know, and you don't have to give the answers to everything, but like, how'd you do that? What changed? What were the things you tried? One of them, I'm going to say, is when we add more of ourselves to our own problem to try and fix the problem, it's like getting caught in, with a bug around you. Sometimes it does require somebody else coming in and looking at it from a different perspective. So certainly I think saying, hey, I want someone else to help me look at this, but what were the things that resonated for you? How did you get to that place where you said, I'm worth this? I don't need to be, begging for my worth by somebody else.
Right. It was primarily you and your guidance that you gave me because you kept me focused. You were my accountability. And then one New Year's, when we all jumped in a freezing cold lake in our bathing suits, and I was like, this is it. This is good. I recorded a video the next day, no makeup, and was just raw. And I'm like, I am me. I am a goddess. I love me, and I'm the best me that I am. And it just was a click that I heard. And I'm a helper. I put everybody else in front of me. Help, help, help. That's how it was with my husband. Help, help, help. And finally, and for those of you who are out there who are the helpers, you know how unfulfilling it is when you don't even get a thank you. And I said, I'm not doing that anymore. The Christine, the therapist for friends and family, right. And I put myself first. And I think it was really when you talked about setting, your goals and your, what you're going to do for the new year, your resolution. And that was like, you said, don't focus on, I'm going to lose weight. My focus was, I'm going to be healthy, mind, body, and soul. That's what got me into Pilates. I dropped 30 pounds last year. I put myself first. I'm strong,
Yeah.
But it really was.
I've seen her in person. She looks good.
I look great. I agree. I love it. I love being able to go, I'm amazing. Thank you. And
Yes.
people who don't want to deal with that, I don't want in my life.
Yeah. Great point. So that's the empowerment story. And that's so beautiful, right? And I have a similar story. But then this thing happens where you actually have to do it, right? Like, forget corporate. I'm going to put up my own shingle. I'm going to do it all on my own. I'm amazing. I'm powerful. I'm beautiful. I'm kind. And then it doesn't happen right away because that's not the way the world works. So how did you sort of pivot and manage that time and not take it personally? That's what one of the things I've had to really learn is if someone doesn't want to work with me, it's not really about me.
Right. It's about them.
So what happened in your journey at the beginning of, okay, I'm going to go do this partially because I don't want to go out and look for another job where someone else is my employer and I've got to please them. But then the process of actually doing this, what did that look like for you?
I have to say I was very fortunate. I have a colleague of mine that I've networked with for years, and he introduced me to the CFO of the company. And so I actually, in January, started working for them pretty much full time. So I still had that full-time income until August of last year. And then they decided not to pay me.
That is correct.
And I had to fight for that payment. It was a significant amount. They were having cash flow issues, which I was aware of, but I'm like, you've signed a contract and I've done the work. So that's when I went, I need to really go out and find clients.
Right.
And so I started the journey, got my leads, did all my messaging, made my phone calls, and I wasn't getting anywhere. I really wasn't. And
I can attest to how much she was working and how much we were workshopping things. And, the beauty of, I have to say about the type of coaching that I like to do with my clients is that we're not just going to talk about feelings and whatever. We're also going to be like, well, what's the offer? How's it working? Where are you offering this? How is it, and it can feel urgent, right? I haven't been paid. I need to do this. I need to figure it out. And you weren't getting hired. So what'd you do?
I have to say, I remember telling you as we were talking about the leads and the marketing and all that. And I was like, if I can't get a new client in 6 months, I'm doing something wrong. And that was in September. And then as of February of this year, I had not signed a new client. Yep. I had taken Rebecca's advice, other people's advice, and I hadn't got a new client. So March comes around. I look at my husband and I said, I'm getting 3 clients this month. Now, the 6 months that I didn't get clients is when I worked on my branding. I have a TikTok and a YouTube channel now where I do new manager training and networking and learning how to run a business. I have an attorney now, attorney resource. I have a CPA. I have people that are experts in the things I'm not an expert in.
There you go.
But I learn along the way. I told my CPA, I don't want to use you, really. I want to be able to do it all. You're expensive.
I remember those days when you were like, okay, do you use QuickBooks or do you use these things? And not like I'm so far ahead of you. I've got like 3 or 4 years on you, but still.
Helpful.
So you said 2 things that I think are important to mention. And then, by the way, we will talk about what Christine actually does and who she does it for and how she's different in just a minute. But to keep it a little more neutral for a second, so as many people as possible can get the message from this, you mentioned, and I wrote it down, you said, I'm a stickler for words. Even though I talk a lot, I listen to words. And you said, I got really lucky. You were referring to basically going right into a consulting gig.
Right.
And I don't think that's luck. I think that one of the things that, I know that's not luck. So one of the things for you that allowed you to pivot and transition fairly quickly is that you've maintained good relationships and you've maintained networking and communications with other people. So you weren't starting completely from scratch. And also you obviously have brand equity as a female, as an executive, as an HR person, you had left a good taste in people's mouth enough that you could just be like, hey, do you need any help? Yes. So that to me is sort of like on the hero's journey. That's like the false start because you're like, oh, that was so easy. Why didn't I do that a long time ago? Right?
Oh, this is great.
Oh, that was all that was? Okay. And then that doesn't work out. And then they don't pay you. And then all of a sudden it's real.
Right.
And, people either rise or they, the what's the word for fear? Face everything and rise or F everything and run.
And
You know?
go
So
back to corporate America.
exactly. So
Right.
you and I were like, oh, we're not doing that.
No.
So what changed in that month that was literally last month that I was chatting with Christine about some other things, that some initiatives she was working on. She was like, do not mention it in the LinkedIn Live because I don't have time anymore. I'm too busy.
Too busy.
So what happened?
Like I said, 6 months came and went. I was not getting any results. I wasn't getting people to call me back. And so I changed everything. I changed my approach. I changed my presentation, how I reached my leads. I just changed everything, and I changed my pricing. Mm-hmm. Got a little humble and was like, maybe I'm charging too much. And so I'm at an area where I'm great, paying bills, making a little extra for savings, but I changed my whole approach. And most importantly, Rebecca, you were a good resource, but the women that I have met through your program, we have a marketing guru.
Yes, we do.
She was helping me with what to post on social media. She reads my copy from my website. I'm not one to ask for help because I'm stubborn as all get out, but I finally realized use your resources of people that know better than you.
Yes.
I'm HR. I'm not marketing. I'm not an accountant. I'm not, I'm not sales, but I've learned along the way to tap into your resources. And that gave me a sense of comfort. And it gave me a sense of growth.
Thank you. I think that's so important. So for those that I have a program and it's guaranteed, and when you're done, you're done. And some people choose to stay on, and we call that a mastermind. And my original mastermind group was all women, and that's who she's referring to. And now it's more co-ed, but she's referring to that like first group. And when she's talking about that video on New Year's, I just want to like bring that all together for a second and be mindful about time. But also, Christine had never met me in person or any of the other people in this mastermind group of women. And when she sent that New Year's Day, I think she sent it on New Year's Day, the video, I was really proud to be part of a group of women that were like, yes, that's amazing. Like the cold plunge kind of a thing. It was a naked kind of a thing. It was a all out there kind of a thing. And you started to set the stage for the way we were going to show up for each other. I can say that kind of stuff because I kind of live out loud anyways, but it's once others do it. And so you really created an environment within this group of women where it became safer to talk about things and share more. And that's exactly what happened. Right. So one of the things, Christine, I think that you're saying in different ways, but as a coach, I want to pull it back together a little bit for people in a bow, is the mindset had to work in tandem with the tactics for this to happen. So you had to become empowered in your own belief of yourself to be able to share authentically, which allowed you to ask for help in a way that didn't feel pathetic and it didn't feel like giving up. It felt like I'm damn good at HR. And period. I'm damn good at HR. And also, I need to market this if I'm not going to work for a company that has a marketing team and a research team and an accounting team and all these other things. And that it takes a very complicated sort of intersection between confidence and humility.
Yeah.
To be your own boss.
You're right. You do have to step back. Like I said, I was like, I'm doing something wrong. And that is rare for me. But it's just like working at corporate America. If I'm going down the wrong path, let me know. But the let me know had to come from me.
Yes.
I had to tell myself, this is not working and you have to make it work. So going back to telling my husband in March, I'm like, I'm closing 3 clients. And I had been, like you said, I've got relationship with vendors who respect me, put me in touch with other people. And so I was using their resources, meeting people, but come March, I'm like, I'm closing 3 clients. And I'll be darned, I did.
You sure did.
I found 3 clients in March, 2 this month. And now I am full. I'm not even responding to leads. I'm like, let me get this organized, which is a whole nother aspect is what are we doing? How do you keep track? So I've done that. But I did it. I said, this is going to happen. And Rebecca, you know me. If I get in front of somebody, they're going to love me. as I said in one of my TikTok videos, I'm like, I'm the coolest HR person you're ever going to meet.
And it's true.
It is. I care about the company. I care about the employees. I take a different approach. I'm not that bad HR that you hear about everywhere.
I was just going to say, for those listening and listening later and at other times, HR really does get a bad reputation. And you mentioned earlier that you're a helper. And in some ways, HR is another extension of being the helper. And one of the things I think you also focused on is that like HR you need like oxygen mask on so that you can help. And one of the things I learned from you is that any of us that are still in corporate America, we're only as good as the rest of the C-suite. So you weren't in an environment and where HR was being like appreciated or recognized or valued. And that wasn't an attack on you as a person. That was a testament to their opinion of your skill set.
Right.
And so it was different this time. You didn't make it feel like, oh, they don't like me. This woman came in. She's the new leader. She doesn't like, it was just like, this isn't the right place for me anymore.
Right.
So how do you maintain your values and your morals and your integrity about how you think and believe HR should be when you're not getting paid anymore and you need to get new clients? Because I have to imagine there were some people that came along that you could have said yes to that felt like they were not the right fit.
Spot on. A lot of, and I focus on small companies and small companies that are in growth mode because I feel like I can partner with them now and grow with them. So I see that long-term strategy, but a lot of family-owned companies. And I do have one client right now, but I don't know if I'm going to continue because they're very stubborn. And they're like, well, can we do this? I'm like, no. So I'm thinking
maybe they're your biggest gift because stubborn sees stubborn.
Yeah. So
you can use your coaching skills on them.
If my potential clients don't have moral decency and operate in a manner that says, I'm going to care about what you bring to the table as a consultant, and I care about my employees. And the ones that are very stuck in that old school thinking, I won't work with. I won't. I am a positive person. I want to be around positive people. And, in my life, I've gotten rid of that toxicity as far as friends that just didn't meet my needs. I'm the same way with clients. And I'm very, very grateful that the ones I have right now are so excited to work with me. I had one write me this beautiful email, like, you obviously understand, blah, blah. And I'm like, oh, thank you. I mean, it was great. HR, you rarely get kudos. You rarely get kudos. And so I get it from this client and they're like, we're signing the contract. It was a beautiful moment.
And those are the things
that keep me going. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Those are the things that keep us going, because those of you who are considering, Brad just said he's really enjoying this. And Brad and I were talking 2 weeks ago. He's starting his own thing. Like, it is a selfless job to be your own boss. It's a lot of work and it's not a lot of praise. And most people, all of you in corporate America that say, I just want to start my own company, all of us that are doing it will say to you, yes, it's wonderful. It's so hard and it's so much work and it's so much rejection and it's so much, there is no, I always say the worst boss I've ever had is me. Like, I don't give myself enough vacation days. I don't get paid for time off. So those moments are really important where what you do is bring your whole self, because you found out these friendships, these jobs, these things aren't bringing me to my best self. I need to get rid of them so I can be at my best self, is how you get clients that then say to you, absolutely, I'm signing this contract. You're phenomenal.
Right.
So let's take a second and talk about what exactly it is. And this isn't an official pitch, but just if people are interested, what exactly is your unique style? And maybe people are watching and they need an HR consultant. So, what are you doing and how are you doing it? And by the way, for those listening that are like us, that do our own thing, this is a really hard part. To be able to market yourself and explain what you do is one of the hardest parts of whether you're a coach or a consultant or you own your own gym or whatever else. Why are you different? The elevator pitch, the offer, but she's got it. So tell us.
It's changed. It changed after 6 months. My first approach, and this still is my approach, if I find a company that wants to increase profitability through their people, I'm there. I'm there for them. And as far as creating customized programs, was talking to potential clients or even my new clients that I have now, and they're like, are you going to pitch us anything else? Because the other company we talked to we need them for A, but they pitched B through Z. And I said, no, I do exactly what you need. I customize everything that you need. And then that's it. Now, as we form a partnership, if you want me to do more, that's great. But I don't walk in thinking the bigger picture as much as really focusing on these smaller companies that are in growth mode, that really want to get their structure in place as far as their people processes before they experience the big growth. Because when you're in growth mode, forget it. You're trying to change the tire on the bus while it's rolling.
Right.
Yeah. So really now my focus, again, what's really important is it is customized. I only, I do what they need me to do and then build that relationship, and I see some long-term potential, but I don't try to upsell them. I don't try to talk them. Now, as things progress, it's like, you probably need an audit, and here's what the process looks like. So it's been very helpful when I communicate with potential clients. I'm not going to sell you the moon. I'm going to create a quote for you that meets your budget and meets your needs and gets your goals there. So it really is a different approach.
I can't tell you how important I think customization is in this day and age. Those of you that are considering what makes me a different coach, I think the holistic part is really cool. And I have all these other coaches, and I think people appreciate the transparency of the guarantee and the finances. But like, people want to feel heard. And you can't run them through, this is what we do for everybody. I mean, you can, and it's very scalable, and that's what corporate's all about. And so I couldn't agree more that one of the things that I think is so important, if you're going to say, I do it different over here, this is why you should hire me instead of XYZ behemoth company, is the ability to say eyeball to eyeball, let's sit down at the table together and let's draft out an idea of something and let's see if it works. And then we can iterate and change and evolve. And it seems in a world where a lot of things are being automated, that there's a real desire to still have somebody who says, hey, look, I've been there. Here's some things I tried. Maybe this. And yes, the pricing being transparent is so important too. But when somebody says, I have, like you could say, I'm able to do from A to Z, you absolutely are.
Right.
But let's talk about what you want to work on right now. So one of the things it sounds like you pivoted on as you developed was really identifying what the right group or audience was. And for you, it's people that are still valuing they're still in a build mode. And so they value somebody who wants to come in and actually sit down and, take out the pencil and the piece of paper and figure something out together.
Right.
Very rare, very not really what's out there. And it's working for you, right?
It is. And as I've said before, I can't remember where I heard it, but I take chaos into cohesion. I break things down and then build them back the right way. It's the way my mind works. I take a big picture and go, okay, that's great. You want to go here, but where are the pieces and who's going to do what piece?
Yeah.
That's key, is identifying and using the skills of those around you within the client. But I'm telling you, I can turn it around and make something that is sustainable and effective and efficient.
I mean, customized and efficient. Never heard those two words in the same sentence. And Christine, you say it with such passion. And it's not just that you're a good salesperson or any of that stuff. It's because it's yours and you believe in it. And there's something to really be said for that. And to me, it's sort of like, if there was to be a tagline on this, it's like, close the clients, like keep your soul,
Right.
Because I do feel like that's what starts to happen, because it's all good and fine in theory. And then when you're down to your last however much money in the bank account, you're like, yeah, maybe I remember you telling me a story about somebody who did something, like there was an HR violation, if you will, it was so shocking that it made for a good story, but it was like, whoa, I don't want to have anything to do with that. So
yeah.
As a bit of a closer, I think I could talk to you for a million years on this, but first of all, where can everybody find you? Whether it's about HR or just coming into, you're obviously a believer in networking and sort of using resources being resourceful versus using the resources. So obviously you're on LinkedIn. Where else can people chat with you?
On LinkedIn, I am actually redesigning my website, but I still have one. So it's www.humaninsightsconsulting.us.
Oh,
Tom wasn't available. So,
well,
but
it's just customized like that. It's customized. It's US.
well, it's US. So, but you can, find me there. Look at my philosophy is not going to change when I redesign, but there's a contact where you can fill your stuff out, or it's got my contact information. And I just encourage people to reach out, call me, just call me.
Exactly. Right.
Ooh.
This doesn't have to be a big dramatic thing.
No.
So it's such, I just say, because I've been part of this journey, it's such a powerful, I can say to you or anybody else a million times, like, you're worth it. Set the boundaries, say yes to yourself, say no to the other people. But then that you talked about it, that moment where it clicks.
Yes.
And what an honor. Thank you. What an honor to be able to be on this journey with you, where when she says, I'm strong, I look good, I'm really good at what I do, there's no arrogance in that. It's just owning her power.
It is. Yeah. No, it's been a great journey with you, Rebecca. I mean, we are friends, and I still turn to you for guidance. So it's been a very essential, it was about 2 years of coaching, and it changed my life.
Mine too.
My life. I don't think I would be where I'm at had I not crossed paths with you.
Well, I appreciate that. I appreciate you. Thank you for sharing with us. Thank you for reminding all of us that you don't always get what you want the moment you want it. But,
Right.
The months of not just the branding and the figuring that out, but the meditating, the self-worth, the taking care of yourself, it all came as a gift in the end of Q1 2025, when most of us were saying, what is happening in the world? Falling apart.
It's been good.
Woo! I love you. I'm grateful for you. Thank you. Thank you for sharing this with everybody else. And if you want to find me, I'm on LinkedIn, Rebecca Babcock Coaching, all those things. Thank you, everybody. Have a wonderful weekend.
Bye.
Bye.